SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com.
Hey folks, welcome to the show. Rick's show on the radio on SoFloRadio.com, featuring the music of Elston Torres. Let's listen to a little Elston. What do you say?
So you settled for indifference of the weapons you disposed. You used to climb onto your heartaches, but the window to your cruelty was exposed. Like the story of Cain, there's no joy out of pain. Sometimes bad and the good feels the same. When you run like a king, there's a chance you'll break everything while sitting on your throne.
Hey, how about Elston? He has a really cool South Florida vibe, don't you think? I really like his stuff, huh? All right, well, let's get the show started here, huh? I'm going to welcome my guests. My guest today and my sidekick as well are both Irish. Mr. Tommy O'Brien joins us. Hey, Tommy.
Hello, they're not really Irish. Today.
Aye. And then my lovely wife, Caroline. Hello, Caroline.
Thank you, baby.
What's your last name, Caroline?
Sentis?
That's right. Good guess. Yeah. All right.
Cultural.
Yeah, these guys were just speaking Irish. I didn't understand a word of it, by the way. They're talking a lot about beer, I think. Weren't you guys talking a lot?
Isn't it Gaelic?
Neil.
Yeah, Gaelic. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
And that, of course, is my producer and head honcho, George Rodriguez. How's it going, man?
Going great, thank you.
All right. Right.
Good to see Tommy back here.
Yeah, it
Yes,
sure is, Tommy.
absolutely.
All right, so
I love
this is
this
going to be
place.
like an Irish hour type of thing,
Okay.
and we're going to speak with an Irish accent, everybody. Is that okay?
You already got it out of me,
Is
so.
that like a leprechaun?
No, okay, we won't do that then. But, yeah, I do smell like a leprechaun, yes. Anyway, Tommy, I'm glad to have you back on the show.
Yes,
and, of
sir.
course, I don't know if everybody knows or not, but Tommy O'Brien is moving on to, are we going to call it greener pastures? Maybe for you, but no, different pastures.
Sure, different, absolutely.
Yeah, just on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Mhm.
Although that has a connotation, too. Maybe we shouldn't use that one either.
Yeah, true. Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Well, you're just going to be up the road, though.
Exactly.
Going up to, tell us
Atla-
where you're going.
Going to Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Mhm.
Here, there's a lot of work up in there for.
There is. As as a full-time actor, you want to get the most opportunities you can, and currently, right now, South Florida versus that market, there's more work up there.
Right,
right. It's kind of bittersweet because I built a foundation the past couple of years of a lot of friends,
Yeah.
of which I'm going to truly miss. But again, Atlanta's only a 10-hour drive away. I think it's hour and a half flight, maybe close to 2 hours actually, but still,
Yeah.
it's not that far away. So
Nah,
I
you know,
will be back.
It's
many
a big
times.
day drive, but,
Sure.
but that's it, and then
Absolutely.
you're here.
Absolutely. I would be fool not making this, taking this opportunity.
Right.
That's in front of me here. So
Yeah, so we'll
That's what
talk a little bit more about your
Sure.
your next adventure here, but let's go back. I know you've been on the show a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to go back and kind of address certain things.
Sure.
Like Tommy, tell us about yourself.
Sure.
Where are you from? What brought you down to South Florida?
Sure. I'm from Melbourne, Florida, a couple hours north of us here, and just right up the I-95. And I got my degree in hotel restaurant management, of which I worked for 18 years in that field.
Doing what?
I was starting just as a bellman, front desk clerk, to night auditor, to controller, to the general manager of the entire hotel.
Did you have to get any drugs or hookers for anybody in a hotel?
Anyways,
you don't have to answer that.
So as I was saying, we'll not speak about that. Anyways, no, I was working at a hotel up in Melbourne, and they they built a new hotel down here in Fort Lauderdale, the Holiday Inn Express on 17th Street. So they relocated me there. I was the assistant general manager there. they relocated me here as their general manager. So I worked there for probably just 6 or 8 months, and the owners turned around, who were older gentlemen, sold the hotel to a management company. Usually when that happens, they bring their own general manager in, they, director of sales, etc. So I was out of work that same day they made that surprise sale on me. So they did offer for me to come back to the Melbourne area at the hotel I was at previously. But I was given a job offer at another hotel 2 days later, another Holiday Inn here in South Florida.
So
I
you
took it.
obviously have people skills. I mean, that's the kind of job you go into if
Absolutely.
you like people and you like dealing with people, right?
Absolutely, I love it. I loved working for the industry. I love working the people, the guests, etc. The only thing was taking 6-7 days a week working there, especially in season. So you had no time off. It was good money, but you had no time to spend with the money. And I was missing my family, who again was just a couple hours north of us, but I was missing Christmases and Easters and all that. And I'm like, this isn't the life for me. So I got out of that, and I went into a private accounting, and for several different companies. And then, as you just said, a people person, an accountant doesn't usually mix because you're not dealing with the public. You're with the exception of the phone or email, you're locked away in a cubicle.
Machines that you go like.
And so after a couple years of that, I'm like, this isn't for me either. So I was out of work, and an opportunity came along to try for a little casting down in Miami for a little movie called Pain and Gain with The Rock, Mark Wahlberg,
That
Tony
wasn't too
Shalhoub.
long ago.
Yeah,
that's very
it was May of 2012 was when we filmed that. It
It
came
was a
out.
very, very good movie, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And
It's all you.
And that's your start at in the
It
biz,
was, yeah,
because
so
that's a big bang start. I mean, it's not like well, I started working with
Right.
student films and all
Well,
that.
I should stress though that was professionally speaking my first film. The previous when I moved down here in 1998 to Fort Lauderdale, I joined, and I'm still a current member of Rio Vista Community Church, and they had a drama ministry. So I loved acting in college, high school, and college. So I'm like, let me give this a shot. And one of the instructors there, the drama director, Sandy Ives, she's a SAG actress. So she had like little weekly workshops for all of us actors that were volunteering, every Sunday doing a 3 to 7 minute little skit on the stage, of which the pastor would come up and talk about what we just acted about. So it was an opportunity to learn more about the profession and everything. So I took those skills of almost 15 years at the church there, and then to the professional field.
So you had an interest in it all along.
Absolutely,
sounds
I
like,
did.
right?
I did, but it's just something I never thought of doing it professionally. It was
Yeah.
more of a for fun.
It seems like that's for a lot of people. Well, for most people, especially actors or anybody in the business, they have their job and then they can fit their acting jobs around there. But it seems like you're kind of full bore into it, aren't you?
I did. Again, 2012 was when I started this, May 2012, and then I just slowly but surely just started getting more gigs. I proved myself to all my agents, to casting directors that, hey, this is somebody that will do anything and everything. Anything ethical, anything legal, I will do it. I mean, anything that I can put my mind to it. You could be a good guy or a bad guy, and personally, I prefer to play the bad guy.
Really?
I do, because I think in general, for most people that know me, I'm a pretty nice guy, fun guy to be around. But to be a bad guy, it's something that I'm not. So
They get more lines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have more
that's
lines.
true.
More
Yeah.
screen time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But usually
that's
get
right,
killed though, so usually aren't the part 2, part 3s.
Yeah,
But anyways, no, I like it. It's more of a challenge, and I love challenges.
Well, I've seen, we got some of your demo reels here and some of your headshots, and there was this one headshot I've seen where you were speaking of different roles.
Oh my God, that's you.
Could
Yes.
you tell us about that one there?
Yeah, sure. There was a
God.
movie called The Last Supper. It was basically a spoof movie. A celebrity local chef actually was upset the fact I believe he was given a contract by the Food Network or whatever to have his own talk show. For whatever reason, it fell through. So this was his way of getting back at the industry. So he got with a director, and he wrote this script, of which many different celebrity actors or celebrity chefs were portrayed in this film, and we were all killed throughout the movie. So spoiler alert, I get
interesting.
killed. But in that photo there, I'm Paula Dean. So
You
they dressed me-
remarkable,
Yeah, that's amazing. I can
remarkable
only see it from
resemblance.
video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's 7-8 hours of studying YouTube clips of her voice, her mannerisms, her crying, just to get it all down.
You even look racist. So.
Oh, that's not right, George.
Ooh.
Hey,
Somebody
I didn't
take
use that language she used.
No. Actually, I was in a theater play where I played a racist.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most hardest jobs I've ever to do. Like I said, acting as the bad guy is a hard role. Well, in this particular theater, it was the APAC Theater, African American Performing Arts Theater, down in Southwest Miami, or excuse me, northwest of Miami. And as they themselves call it, the director Teddy Harrell actually said that, we call it the hood, and
Sure.
they jokingly say, well, I had to play a character, J.W. Milan, who actually this character was the one there back in the 1955. There was a little boy by the name of Emmett Till that lived in Chicago.
I remember that story.
And he came down to visit his Uncle Moe's down in Mississippi. And so he wanted to show his cousins that he was Mr. Big Bad, whatever. So he was going along whistling at the white women. And of course, you don't speak to them, let alone whistle at them. And so my character, who was the brother-in-law of the lady he whistled at, me and my brother, we actually took the kid, and for 4 days we persecuted him, and we ended up drowning him.
Wow.
And so I had to relive this character and give a little. I was put on trial. I was acquitted with just 1 hour, all
Right.
white jury. So I gave an interview to Life magazine. So my character for that day, I had to come out into theater to this audience, about 150, 200 African Americans, and I had to re-portray this guy, and I had to say the N-word like 7, 8 times. I had to be a Southern drawl, and in theater they call the audience the fourth wall. You never look in the audience eyes. You look all around. The other actors look above them if you have to look out.
Oh, I
You never
didn't know
look
that.
into their eyes. But in this role, because I was being interviewed, I had to look in their eyes, and each time I said the N-word, I mean.
Yeah.
You could feel the tension, obviously.
That-
And it didn't matter if there was even no African Americans in the audience. If it was all Caucasian or any other race. It doesn't matter because it's so wrong to even say that word. And literally, I was at it was an hour and a half movie, or excuse me, hour and a half play. It was like the 55-minute mark. So I had like another 25 minutes to 30 minutes after my part was done to sit back there and wait for the curtain call. I wanted to leave after every time I was done.
Right.
The director's like, no, you need to come back out there and, be part of the curtain call. So I was literally the first couple shows, I really felt I was going to vomit in the back of the theater because I just said this grotesque stuff.
Right.
I'm an actor, professional actor. You have to say these things. It's not you, it's the character.
Yeah, but it's hard.
But it's hard.
Hard to wash that stuff off at
Absolutely.
the end of the day, isn't
Absolutely. And we did 14 shows, and I feel, I did it justice. I literally had people, when I did my curtain call out things, racist, this and that, and people
Right.
came up to me afterwards, or there was an extra security guard just in case. Nothing physically ever happened, but people, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm like,
Really?
well, apparently I got under their skin, as in I portrayed that character well enough for them to believe I was
Right,
that
right.
character.
Wow.
But after
Good job,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, I guess, yeah. But you know what? I really blessed that opportunity because it grew me as an actor. I can do anything.
It's a tough one, then.
Yeah. I know. Is it another tough one? I don't know if you have a picture of this, but or if even there is. Didn't you play Al Jolson?
It wasn't. It was actually. It was Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was with Jo Marie Payton, who's a famous actor out of L.A. She lives down here in Hollywood now. She actually has a thing called Jo Marie's.
There it is.
There it is, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jo Marie's Boot Camp, and she was our acting teacher. And she, in that for our class, had a play at the end, and she named me the lead of it. And I literally played Duke Ellington, who is an African American composer.
Right.
Me, I'm a Caucasian, don't know anything about music. So it was
They don't get
interesting.
many more whiter than the Irish.
Yes, exactly. So with a little bit of makeup and all that, I didn't go stereotypical,
No, it
overboard.
didn't
this
look
and
like
that.
it. No, looking at
It
that
was very
picture.
professional because he always wore a tuxedo in his shows, and I got his mannerisms, how he walked, how he spoke, how he,
Yeah.
and I kind of got that down for another 90-minute play.
So you like to do a lot of research for your characters?
Absolutely. I think any actor that doesn't do research is doing injustice to the film, the director, everybody involved, including the other actors.
Sure.
Because I'm sure they've done their research, and for me or anybody, credibility
It's
to the role.
professional, anyway.
Absolutely, yes. And if I stress anything, do your research on any character.
So you've done a whole bunch of stuff since you've started in 2012, but I know you have some movies with some pretty big names.
Sure,
But bulk of your stuff is commercial work, right?
I would say it's almost 50-50.
Is it?
Yeah. I've done 43 movies, but most of them are independent, small things, either student films, small things here in the area that you won't see in Atlanta, LA, wherever else. But there's been some major movies I've been on, but the commercials I've done are all national commercials.
Right.
So people, if somebody were to recognize me, say in Chicago, it'd be from a commercial, not a movie, or at least not yet anyways.
Right. Yeah, I was sitting around watching the television the other day, and hey, there's Tommy. He's a chef.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Baduka bread, Pantene bread. Yeah, that actually is during the Christmas time.
I think it's cool
And
to see my friends.
It
in
is
commercials
actually
like that.
because, I myself see a lot of my acting friends in South Florida here on TV all the time. And it's
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I know all these people. I know that guy. There's
Yeah.
Bob. It's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
So, what are some of the bigger ones you've done? Give us some ideas and some of the big films that.
Sure. I just last year we filmed with Jim Belushi a movie called Change of Heart. I had 2 different roles in that. I played a controversial, let's put it, flamboyant dancer with one of my best acting friends, David Bennett. They paired us up together, and we feel, and Jim Belushi came to us and said that he loved our rapport with acting with him and everything, that they actually featured us that day, which featured difference in background and featured is you're on the camera more, they show you more and all that. So Jim Belushi literally had us staged right near the side of the stage there. So when there's something happens in this particular scene, without giving it away, he does something, he looks, and when he lands, whatever he does, when he lands the spot, he's looking right at David and I. And it's hilarious. Our facial reactions back to him, and it's classless.
So they just figured that out
Cool.
just because of your interaction. They wrote that little scene in there. Or
I
did
believe
that?
the scene was there. They didn't know who the 2 characters were going to be.
Oh, okay.
It's just so, David and I said we are best friends and we're doing everything. And a lot of the production people know us from being in many other events here in South Florida. So you kind of see, while it's the same actors from, the different sets, commercials, whatever, it's also the same crew members.
Yeah.
So they already know who people are ahead of time and
Sure.
all that. So that's why you should always, be punctual. Don't be a troublemaker, because those are the people that can get you in front of the camera more and more,
Yeah. Now,
which
and-
the big directors come in, and that's the opportunities.
Right. I know I've met David Bennett a couple of times. He's definitely a good character actor,
He is
huh?
great. Oh my gosh! I mean, he's somebody that, like I said, he's not only a great actor, but he's like one of my best friends. He's somebody that is very loyal, and I wish he can come to Atlanta with me. And trust me, if opportunities open up, I'd love for him to come up and everything, because him and I are like a tag team.
Right.
Exactly.
So before we go too much further here, I'd like to invite anybody who's out there listening to give us a call here. And if you want to ask anybody a question here, ask Tommy a question, give us a call here. The number's 954-990-0036. You're invited to call in and wish Tommy well on his journey. I know we have a meeting of the Florida Hampton Table coming up here, which is
a couple days this Sunday.
Yeah, I always talk about that. It's a great organization. And,
Absolutely.
You are a moderator on that, as well as Rose Warner,
Correct. Richard Sosa.
Richard Sosa,
Thomas Falborn.
and Tom Falborn, which is another prominent actor in our area.
Absolutely.
Had him on a couple of times. Probably have him
Absolutely.
on
And also
again.
AJ too. She's
AJ,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So, that meeting is this Sunday.
That's correct. 2:00 at the 84 Diner up there on 595 and 84 State
Yeah.
Road 84.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I met everybody that I work with, just about. It's either directly from that organization or people that have, I've casted for.
Sure.
And they put it on the email.
Yeah, I've they have it once a month, so I've been there the past 2 years. So 24 meetings I've gone to. I've gone 35, and for the record, by the way, when I mentioned earlier, I used to be an accountant. I keep an Excel sheet on everything, all my acting, all my my gigs, who get what agent gets me the most work, etc., etc. I also keep track of my bookings and where I got them from, and the leads and the stuff like that, and including the Florida Hampton Table. Again, I've been to 24 meetings the past 2 years. I've gotten 35 paid jobs from that group.
Wow.
So it works. It's the key is networking. It's not
It
the only
is.
group I go to,
Yeah.
but I would honestly say that is the group that's given me the most work
Yeah.
of networking groups I go to.
Yep, that's a great organization. And now that you are moving on up to Atlanta, I hear that you've been authorized to start the Atlanta Hampton Table.
Absolutely. There's currently not one there, and I've been asked and I accepted, wholeheartedly, absolutely. I did ask to give myself 6 months first to get myself established, to
Right.
get to know who's who up there and everything like that. And then afterwards, then I will definitely be starting the Atlanta Hampton Table.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you what. I know we have some demo reels I'd like to see, but I think that what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break.
Okay.
And we'll come back and we'll see some of the demo reels. And I got some more questions to ask you about your trip up to Atlanta and all
right.
that. So stick with us here on SoFloRadio.com. We'll be right back.
Become a leader.
I'm Steve Gordon, your host of CEOmanship,
Your success is his business.
a radio show for business owners and CEOs.
CEOmanship.
We talk about how to grow your business, customer retention, customer acquisition. We interview CEOs from across the world and talk to them about their businesses so that they can share ideas with you to help you grow your business.
Monday from 2 to 3 p.m.
Gordon Partnership, where your success is our business.
on SoFloRadio.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Cohen of the Pizza Loft. The Pizza Loft has been making in South Florida for over 300 years.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
Just because you make the best pizza in town don't necessarily mean you can voice your own commercials.
Why not? Look, I just painted my nails for this.
You just get back in the kitchen and do what you know best, okay?
Well, if you think you can do a better job.
A dead man can do better at this, and I'm almost there. Now scram.
All right.
Now see here. You want the best pizza in town? Not to mention a full menu of mouth-watering Italian dishes at prices the whole family can afford? Then you ought to know by now. Pizza Loft is the place for great Italian dining. And the pizza. Mo knows. I stole my share. That's Pizza Loft, 3514 South University Drive in Davie. Or call 954-916-8880.
Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now, 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
When you're ready to actually lose weight safely and steadily while being monitored by a physician, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson is there for you. The family medicine practice was established by her father in 1956 and continues as a medical practice that now specializes in weight reduction. Dr. Kim Jacobson joined the practice 20 years ago as both a family medicine practitioner and weight loss specialist. The Weight Loss Clinic utilizes a combination of appetite suppression medication and vitamins to produce great results, usually 3 to 4 pounds per week for most patients. Now you can change your lifestyle while still enjoying your own food, just less of it. They offer a choice of 2, 3, or 4-week plans. So whether you just need to lose a few pounds or a lot, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson can help you. They're located at 5454 Northeast 4th Avenue in Miami, just 2 blocks west of 54th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. Call them at 305-751-0091. They'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. That's 305-751-0091. Get started on a beautiful new body today with Dr. Kim Jacobson and the Weight Loss Clinic.
Terrestrial radio, they don't want us or yous around no more, so...
They hit us, so we hit them back.
SoFloRadio.com.
I just told you! I shot him once! Once! He was shot twice. Once in the shoulder and once in the stomach. There had to be someone else.
You're lying.
No, I'm not! You need to go back to the crime scene and find out who else did this. Someone is out there. Go find them!
Leah? Hi, I'm Dr. Casey. How are you? Good. Do you have any questions on anything? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I looked at your chart, by the way, and your vital signs, everything's perfect, so we can proceed. If you have any questions at all, stop me. I'll answer any question you have, okay?
But what does this have to do with the investigation of what happened to you in your office the other day?
I don't know, but there's something. If you'll just look.
Mrs. Richards, I've been helping you from the beginning. Now you need to help yourself. Go home, take a pill, be with your children. However, let Ashton Sinclair rest in peace.
You son of a bitch. How dare you downplay my investigation?
I'm not downplaying anything. You need to let this go, okay? Unfortunately, I cannot offer you a job here. I mean, you don't have enough work experience. Plus also, you gotta be serious. But you know what? I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the smile you have on your face. With a smile like that, you can get a job, let's say, in a toothpaste commercial or as a clown.
Well, thank you for your time, sir. Have a nice day.
You too.
All right, that's Tommy O'Brien. Are we back on there? Sorry. All right, we're back on. Thanks, Tommy. That was your first demo reel there, and I think I was recognizing a couple of the actors.
Absolutely. There's Carol Wood was in there in the Life Exchange. Lexi De La Rosa was in there with Victim. A lot of South Florida actors I've worked with here in the community and all that, and getting those demo reels are so important to put together.
Yeah, I've seen. There's a couple of locally produced projects that you're involved in here, right?
Yeah, we finished up a couple months ago a movie called Love and Hostages with David Vargas. Carl Remy's in that as well, my good comedy acting buddy there. We did that. Another one, Gaetano Fasulo, has a web series, that we put together, or that he put together, that I got a part in there. I was a detective in his role. Also, Carr was in it as well. That's called Gym Brats. It's a web series coming soon to a theater near you, as well as the internet. I was in a movie called Val, which you saw one of the scenes there from Victim, which that is by Derek Johnson. He's a local director here in South Florida. Between the Crossroads, that was the movie in there where I played the doctor. Alexander Bello is the director there. And so I mentioned earlier Life Exchange. That's with Tony Larkin, which Tony's coming out with another movie right now that he's just wrote the movie. And, I got cast in a little part in that as well. And I'm definitely going to be coming back for that because he's probably one of my top 5 directors I've ever worked with. And I've worked with 43 directors. So I mean that sincerely.
So Alan Heyman.
Oh, yes.
Who doesn't know Alan Heyman? That's right. I mean, he's one of those guys, and you seem to be rivaling him as to whenever we go to a screening or a film festival, people go, well, how many movies are you in this, this festival? I got 2 or 3 movies.
Sure.
So, does that happen to you?
It has, but I love the fact that I'll go to, and when I started networking, by the way, networking is where I get a lot of my work from, and we can talk more about that later.
Definitely.
However, I just stress this, that there's a lot of movie premieres or, film festivals I'll go to where I'm not even in any one of those films or that particular film we're going to see, simply because I love networking. I love meeting the new directors I've never met with, actors I've never worked with. It's a way to get myself out there, but if anything, it's out to see some great films filmed down here in South Florida.
Yeah.
And I love going to those.
Yeah, I think that's another reason why you're a pretty popular actor down here is because you do care and you do support the scene.
I love supporting all my acting friends. Absolutely. If, give and take, they'll come see my stuff. I want to see their stuff. Absolutely.
Yep. I know there's a few people out there that said they were going to call in and harass, so I'm going to give the number out just in case they forgot. The number is 954-990-0036 if you want to call into the show and say something to Tommy. You got to say something nice, though, okay?
I got thick skin.
All right. That thing that you brought up with networking.
Yes.
I know that's one of them. I agree with you totally on that because when it comes to, getting your project started, or there's so many good reasons to network. I mean, one of the biggest reasons to be involved in networking is just your attitude. Because you meet new people, you feel good about whatever it is you're working on. You got that energy. Because if you're an actor or filmmaker and you're in a slump because you think, oh man, my project needs work, I need that, and just go to a networking meeting.
Absolutely. That's going back to the Florida table. I cannot tell you how many times, people joke with me, geez, you get a job every other day or whatever. And that's not always true either. And, I do have my down days as well. And if it comes to the opportunity that you might Thursday, Friday, or Saturday before the table meeting, which is, again, the third Sunday of every month, go to that meeting because you will feel inspired. You'll see that there is work out there. You'll see that because in that meeting, it's not just actors getting together. It's writers, producers. You got crew, craft services, wardrobe. My point of bringing all that up is you meet all these different people, and it's about building relationships. It's not necessarily go there to, I want a job, I need to find an actor. No, it's building relationships.
That's an important part of it, because a lot of times people think that I want a job type of thing. Everybody wants a job.
Absolutely.
But like they say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, meaning that people want to give you a job. They want to give you a job.
Right. You build that relationship. You build the trust. The last thing a director or producer wants to do is just to have, oh yeah, you look like you would be great for this role, but you show up on set late. unprepared, don't know your lines, you don't have the proper wardrobe that you were assigned to bring in, etc. Many different things could happen and does happen. And going to these meetings, you prove yourself over to those people. You build those relationships. You do a lot of free events. I cannot tell you, of those 43 films I've done, I've probably done 20-something student films. And you know what? Those I do for free. It's not because the fact of, I just want to practice acting. Yeah, that maybe, it happens that way, but that's not the sole reason.
Right.
I mean, you work with these these are student directors that have a passion, the same passion I have as acting. They have the passion of creating art, and it's a win-win. Why wouldn't you want to work with something like that? Networking. I cannot tell you how many times I've worked with a director and they've called me up, or somebody from that crew has called me up. Hey, I see a role that you could fit that I just saw. I met you a couple months ago. I've done 22 student films now, and I've got 30 paid gigs from referrals from that. Not from doing those student films, but just other things.
And you keep records of that stuff, don't you?
Absolutely, I do. I'm a pack rat when it comes to that. And why not? Because it's like a lot of businesses that, will have a coupon for oil change, $9.99.
Right.
Well, I'm sure that company keeps track of what magazine was used the most to get that coupon to bring their customers in. I do it for my own networking purposes. I want to see, okay, if I keep going to the same meeting, if I'm not getting anything out of it, I'm not going to go to it again. What do I, the actor, have to do differently to get? So I remarket myself. What is it? Am I not reading the right people? Whatever the case may be.
That's smart. That is very smart. I mean, that sounds the accountant in you.
It is, yeah. But I'm more of a people person. And if I'm doing something wrong, I'm not quick to blame that they're not giving me anything. What am I doing wrong? What do I need to fix to do that?
Good attitude, Tommy. I hope we have a lot of actors that are listening to the show today or in the future that when they download this podcast here, that'll take that information and that advice to heart.
Absolutely. Every year I create a vision board. Some people literally have something on the wall. I do it on paper where I say, okay, what are my goals for this upcoming new year? And throughout the year, I keep spot on. Every month I look to see what I haven't accomplished yet. What do I need to do next? And at the end of each year, anything that's not crossed off is priority one for the following year. So because don't give up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you give up, hey, you give up. You're out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And you can, in this industry, you could be burnt so many different opportunities and times, and don't give up on yourself. There's the networking meetings, and besides the table, there's another event called Entertainment Tuesdays. That's the last Tuesday of each month.
Ellen Jacoby, yep.
Right. It used to be called people would refer to it as the fourth Tuesday, but sometimes there's 5 Tuesdays in a month. So just think of it as the last Tuesday of each month.
Tuesday.
And Ellen Jacoby co-hosts that event along with a company called The Kitchen.
Right.
The Kitchen is a voiceover company.
Right. I keep getting their stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a whole industry of folks down in Dade County as well. Do you do much work with the people down in Miami?
Oh, absolutely. That's primarily. I'm literally there. I live here in Broward, but I'm down there 3 to 4 times minimum a week.
Okay.
Sometimes up to 6 times a week, but I don't complain because it's work.
It's work.
Whether it be something free or whether it be something paid, it's an opportunity to meet more people.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the meeting this Sunday.
Yes.
It'll be your last meeting.
For a while. I mean, again, I stress the fact just because I'm moving up the road to Atlanta doesn't mean you'll never see me again. I'll still be auditioning for, movies that come down this area, TV shows, etc., commercials, whatever they may be. But I also have many friends. I've, a couple hundred acting friends I generally call my real friends.
Right.
That, I will come visit. My family's in Melbourne, a couple hours north of here. So I'll definitely be coming back.
I noticed that as far as your acting reels go, that you have good acting reels. One of the things that I learned from Rose Warner is that you should have a number of acting reels, and one should be for commercials, one for movies, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you should have a television, movies, commercials. If you're a singer, by all means, your own music videos.
Sure.
Whatever the case may be. If you're a beginner and you only have 3 or 4 clips of something, it's okay. It is okay to have one reel with all that compiled together.
Right.
But over time, you're going to have multiples of commercials, movies, TV, whatever the case. Then you can separate them.
And so that first one we saw basically was with television or movies?
That was movies. I have 3 reels today. 2 of them are movies, one of which is a commercial.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a look at the one that's a commercial? Which one would that be? And we can pull that up. Let's look at that one.
Absolutely.
You want to pull that one up there? There it is, right there.
This is just one commercial here.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
I'll take care of it.
Don't even pull it out.
Hey!
Leaving the town in.
All right. Well, that was cool. The Pellegrino. How'd you get that job?
Funny story. I, being the fact that I went to the Florida table, I got a phone call one Friday morning at 8:30 in the morning. Didn't recognize the number. I almost didn't answer the call because, I worked late the night before, and then I turn around and I go ahead, answer the phone call, and it was a gentleman that had met me 4 months previous. And he goes, yeah, I'm doing this commercial, et cetera, et cetera. Are you interested? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. It's up in Boca. Let's do it. And I said, by the way, how did you find me or whatever have you? And he goes, oh, I met you at this networking meeting called something table. I'm like, oh, the Florida Hampton table.
There you go.
So there's another one of those, 35 that I mentioned earlier, job opportunities I got from the Hampton table.
From the networking. All right, well, let's take a look at your commercial reel. Well, let's take a look at that.
Sure.
What's up?
Nothing. Quiet night, huh?
Yeah. Gary, know you're borrowing those?
What? What's it to you?
Well, me being security, I have to question everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And with the murders going around on the property, using tools, get what I'm saying here?
Listen, pal. I don't know who you think you are or what you think you know, but you're messing with the wrong person.
Deserving of all my love, I firmly resolve with the help of your grace to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Amen.
I now absolve you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father.
Be gone now, my son. Your sins are forgiven.
Ah, Vito, guess who I see? Yeah, it's that guy that owes us 18 grand. Ooh, looks like he's got a girlfriend with him. That's okay, though. I got a plan. Get rid of him!
Oh, well, he's in a better place.
Sure took you long enough, though. Real quick. I'll tell you what. Why don't we celebrate at that new restaurant tonight? Sure. That would be great. Have a nice dinner, kick back and relax.
All right, Tommy. Well, that was your movie reel.
Exactly. That's my second movie reel that I brought with me.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. That was some pretty cool stuff you did.
Absolutely.
There,
yeah. The one, the very funny one in the middle where I was the hitman, the driver there. That was also directed by Gaetano Fusulo in a movie called Bonk. It's a Christian film.
Yeah.
Carl Remy stars in it. Diana Rice as well as co-stars in that movie, and it was hilarious. Oh, my phone's going off. Anyway, sorry about that. It's a great cast of it. It's a movie where it's a Christian base and all that, and it's a surprise ending, and it's a feel good.
It's a comedy,
movie.
right?
It is. It's definitely a comedy. I mean, absolutely. That's for those people that are advocates of throwing people out the car. That was fake. That scene right there, by the way. No actors were hurt or damaged in that movie scene,
but that does happen.
Yeah, well, of course, injuries do happen. Injuries have, but no, there's 4 different movies there, of which filmed down in South Florida that I'm proud to be a part of.
I noticed a trend in the faith-based movies, kind of getting away from all the real heavy-duty, the blood of Jesus and all that kind of stuff, to more like relevant,
secular. Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's it's a reality too. I mean, and I'm not one to knock anybody for whatever their religion is. Everyone has the right, of course, and I fully believe that. And I've been asked by actresses have come to me before, would you do this, that, whatever. I've had some actresses that will come to me and say, I'm considered doing this role and they're requiring me to be topless. What do you think? I'm like, well, you need to ask yourself that. It's me being someone else. I can't tell you that. I don't think any less of anyone that does choose to do that or doesn't choose to do that. I'm a person against smoking. When I say against smoking, I've known people that have passed away from lung cancer.
Sure.
So I actually turned down a movie one time because the primary role, my role in that movie would be smoking the entire time. And it's not just like, there's a TV show called Magic City in the 50s, that was filmed down here.
Right.
The setting was, the era was the late 50s, 58, 59.
A lot of smoking going on.
A lot of smoking.
For your health.
Right. And actually, but they had fake TV or the fake cigarettes. So that's no big deal because it's not nicotine. It's not real. Well, this particular movie wanted me to real cigarette, smoke the whole time as an inhale, puff out. And nice money, but it wasn't worth it. And I am ethics too, so and everyone's different. And I don't challenge anybody that will do something or won't do something. Everyone's they have to live with themselves what decision they make, and if they're not sure if they should do it, they should probably err on the side of caution and not do it, because they might regret it down the road.
Yeah, it's funny because as a writer, I have a number of film projects in the works, or that I would do in the future, and one of them actually has like a rape scene in it, and I thought, oh, that's kind of goes along with what's going on with the story here, but now I think like, do I really want to do that? Is it necessary? So you got to think about these things, because what are you really trying to say? How far you need to go to tell a story.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah,
there's a lot of women out there, and I'm so sorry, but I don't agree with it whatsoever.
Yeah, well, there's
it's really happening out there, and I know people want to bring it to the forefront, but seeing it gratuitously like that, no. I don't agree with that.
Well,
whatsoever.
there's gratuitous is one thing for sure.
But redoing it is still not quite right, I don't think.
Yep, and I know one of our friends, Diana, told me that she has some, of course, she does the faith-based films as well, and she said, well, when I got into acting, I made an agreement with my husband that, I'm not going to do any kissing scenes.
Sure.
Which, what? An actress not going to do a kissing scene?
No,
but,
I agree with
you
her.
have to.
I think that's good.
Yeah, you have to make those decisions and stick with them. And
right. And again, I stress the fact that if you choose to do it or not to do it, who am I to question any actor? Like I believe you as a director, you wouldn't look down on some actor because, if you have a role where if it's a rape scene, for example, and if an actress or actor won't do it, I don't think it's, okay, you find either another actor to do it or you change this.
I just think delete. Right, I think just delete the whole scene. Genuinely, I think it's
I agree
genuinely.
to a point though.
I just don't think it's right.
There's a movie I was in called The Life Exchange. Tony Larkin. It's a South Florida movie where actually it needed to be done. And when I say that, that probably just came out the wrong way. So open.
No, I know. I understand.
But the part of the story, it just shows what a monster this gentleman was.
Yeah,
and
I know, but I think
And I should also stress the fact that it was a quick scene. It wasn't you was just facial. You didn't see any naked body parts.
Well, the reason I'm so like this, I was raped.
I understand.
I am standing up for women who have been raped.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I personally do not think it's right.
Yeah. Well, we'll never ask you to do that.
Genuinely.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We want to get to your acting, or your commercial reel here. But let's take another little bit of a break here.
Okay.
And we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about your commercial roles.
Sure. Absolutely.
All right. We're going to take a break on SoFloRadio.com.
Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now, 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
Samantha Natalie, A Great Wall, featuring
Watching my world change from my window.
Sky High.
Are you willing to fly? Let yourself
In 1993.
you and me, and a bottle from 1993.
Samantha Natalie, A Great Wall. Available now on iTunes. Go to SamanthaNatalieMusic.com.
When you're ready to actually lose weight safely and steadily while being monitored by a physician, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson is there for you. The family medicine practice was established by her father in 1956 and continues as a medical practice that now specializes in weight reduction. Dr. Kim Jacobson 20 years ago as both a family medicine practitioner and weight loss specialist. The Weight Loss Clinic utilizes a combination of appetite suppression medication and vitamins to produce great results, usually 3 to 4 pounds per week for most patients. Now you can change your lifestyle while still enjoying your own food, just less of it. They offer a choice of 2, 3, or 4-week plans. So whether you just need to lose a few pounds or a lot, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson can help you. They're located at 5454 Northeast 4th Avenue in Miami, just 2 blocks west of 54th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. Call them at 305-751-0091. They'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. That's 305-751-0091. Get started on a beautiful new body today with Dr. Kim Jacobson and the Weight Loss Clinic.
By the Glass.
By the Glass is a show about beverage culture.
Brad Hubbard.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the dots on how everything works together. It's really all about how we enjoy things, how we enjoy life, and how beverages play a big part in that. I'm going to bring in people that are going to display their aspect of the culture. I'm going to bring in people that are going to show you different products. We're going to look at places where people go to consume these beverages and how they all interact. Things are built around the actual beverage itself.
By the Glass. Thursdays from 6 to 7. Only on SoFlo Radio.
Felix, how are we supposed to play poker with just 3 guys?
I got a buddy coming.
Do we know this guy? Is he any good?
Oh, yeah. You know him all right.
Gentlemen, Riverboat Ron! Felix, Riverboat Ron? We don't stand a chance.
I thought he...
Come in.
By the way, where is Sofia? Sofia Coletti? She lives next door.
Moist and fresh, Bauducco Panettone is a traditional Italian Christmas cake from the Bauducco family to yours.
No matter how cool the room is, I always wake up hot and sweaty. But the comfy cooler pillow keeps me cool and dry all night.
Jack walks in after a long day at work. He sees his lover making spaghetti and a strange dessert. Jack takes a sigh and grabs a nearby pick. He remembers when his mate was all lean and fit. But instead of getting upset and losing his gleam, Jack takes a stiffy strip so he can relive his dream.
Online at DaytonDandiesMedical.com. Recognized as one of the leading holistic integrative medical practices in South Florida for over 40 years.
I see you play a doctor a lot of times.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been a doctor a few times.
You have a trusting kind of demeanor. And
I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson, you're dying, but however, look at the smile on my face. Don't you feel better?
And by the way, did you get to keep the comfy cool pillow, by the way?
No, they didn't. Trying on set, I
man.
wanted to get one, so I had to order it,
Now, does it really keep you comfy and dry all night?
So I've done a lot of commercials, yes. Never speak anything wrong about a product you've done.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
And yes, I've done that commercial.
I think you just did that, though, sort of.
No,
I
no,
know he did.
it was a fun commercial to do.
Yeah.
And I suppose endorsing something you don't believe in as well.
Yeah. So, I noticed that in some of your things there was that you have you were, how do I put this nicely, a little heavier sometimes and then a
Yes.
little lighter. I mean, did people
Yes.
actually they actually request that you gain or lose weight? How does that work?
There's one thing in acting you have to understand. You have to have thick skin.
Mhm.
Whether you're heavy, you're thin, whatever you are, you have to, if you are requested because of what you look like, it is
That's
what it is.
true.
It's
Yeah.
a blessing.
Mhm.
That particular commercial you saw me as a basketball coach, I was close to 300 pounds. Almost, so it was like 299 was my topping weight. And it was like an eye opener that, I need to have, but they actually hired me for that commercial because I reminded them as, you ever watch Saturday Night Live, Chris Farley?
Oh, yeah.
The motivational speaker.
Oh, right.
Anyways, well, they picked me for that commercial because I looked a lot like and resembled, and that weight,
Right.
I realized the fact I need to lose a lot of weight, so I went on a good, healthy diet, of which over 8 months later, I lost like almost 80 pounds. And I stress that because anytime you either add or gain weight, you always make sure that you look current in all your photos.
Really?
And
That's important, I guess, huh?
Absolutely, yeah, because your headshot, which is your business card, is your calling card.
Mhm.
And anytime you walk into a casting office and you go there not looking like that picture, it's not good.
Mm-hmm. You have a couple of pictures here? I don't know if we have them downloaded, but we'll take a look and see.
This here is my headshot from back early last year, late 2013, or late 2012, early 2013.
Okay.
That's me as a goon there. But anyways, yeah. So you have a couple different pictures here of which you can see, exactly. There's so many different things that, but the point is you always, whatever the character they're looking for, be true to your headshot, be true to what you're going to be, because if you walk in there and you were, a different kind of, hair color,
right.
You're 50 pounds heavy or light or whatever the case, always be current in your photos.
That's funny because I see a lot of actors and actresses' headshots, and they look like glamour photos. And I guess you want that, but then you meet them and, there's all that Photoshop where there's no blemishes. And then you meet them, actually, that doesn't look like you.
Yeah, that's the worst. There's a lot of skilled photographers out there. If you're going to get your headshots taken, go to a headshot expert. There's a lot of photographers out there that do all different types of photography, weddings, bar mitzvahs, all different things that people hire photographers for. Don't go to one of those people. You want to go to, Bob Lasky, who's very well known in down South Florida. That's a headshot pro.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
and there's numerous people. I'm not here endorsing. I'm personally endorsing Bob as he's a great photographer.
Right.
But I'm not here saying only go to him. There's a lot of different photographers out there that there are experts in headshot photography, and that's who you want to go to. It costs a couple dollars more. Yes, it does. But you know what? Again, it is your calling card. It's the thing that's to get you in the casting office. I've heard of many stories where a casting director will not have someone come in because, that doesn't look right for the role. And but then they'll walk in, or let's say they do get called in for the role and they don't look like that photo, they're going to be asked to leave right then and there. You always want to be current in your photos.
That's good advice. And we're going to kind of getting ready to wrap up the hour here with you, Tommy. And, I would like to thank you for coming on the show, but
Absolutely.
I know you have, it's always good to have you here to get some advice for actors. And I think that is a good advice right there.
Sure.
When you're talking about your headshots, how often do you think people should get to, like once a year or what?
You could say the average is 8.3 months. The point is everyone's different. You lose weight, you gain weight. People change your hair. I'm not talking about every time you get a haircut, spend a couple $100 on headshots. Absolutely not.
Right.
My point though is, anytime you have a significant characteristic of your body, whether it be, if you're super long hair and you cut your hair short, when you need to do that, you need to, whether a man or a woman, if you lose a lot of weight, when I say a lot of weight, anything over 25 pounds, absolutely. Adding weight or losing weight, you should always have current photos. I hope to God that I never get to the point where I was, late 2012, early 2013. But God forbid if I do, I still have those photos that what if,
Sure.
And, people jokingly say, well, throw them away. No, I literally, when I go on castings, I have these two photos with me, my before and after. And it's my motivation that if I ever want to have that extra donut or whatever have you, look what you once were.
Right.
And if anything, it's a motivation tool,
Yeah. All right. Well, so any last words of advice for our South Florida actors?
I would
that you
definitely
wanna tell
say
us?
every actor out there should definitely have business cards with at least a business card with your photo on it.
I noticed we're looking at yours here.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a double-sided card here that,
Right.
it's got the nice, friendly smile picture.
Right.
And then you flip it, it's like the mean guy picture. Point I say is, look, I can play a good guy or a bad guy.
Right.
But the
or
point is,
Republican or Democrat.
and you could,
But, I'm not saying which is which,
exactly
okay?
right, exactly. But
All
my
right.
point is, you should always have at least two different pictures on here. But if you only have one, that's fine. One picture is better than no pictures at all. And always have your business cards with you. I literally have my business card case in my pocket at all times. You never know when you're going to run into somebody that you want to give your card to.
So if somebody's starting out in the field here and they're looking at, extra work, that kind of a grueling thing, what can you tell them? What kind of advice can you give like new actors that might be facing that type of
do it? Because when I
upstairs?
started, like I said, and in early 2012, I did the movie Pain and Gain, and I was just an extra. From doing those 2 different days of extra, they bumped me up to a feature role. Not every time you're going to do extra role, you're going to get bumped up and all that. It is grueling. You're there 8, 10, 12-hour days. You're paid $100, $110. You know, it's a little over $8 an hour and all that. It's grueling, but you know what? The connections, not only the cast and crew there, but also your fellow background extras that, you know, actors that you meet that day.
Okay, so do it. And
absolutely.
What would you? What else would you tell them? I mean, because I've heard horror stories of people going, "Oh, it's hot here."
Sure,
Oh,
it's hot.
They didn't even use
absolutely,
me.
and you are literally, you know, unfortunately some sets you're treated like a redheaded stepchild, and no offense to anybody out there that's redheaded or anything out there. Yeah, but that's the old phrase. But the point is, it happens, and you know what? Suck it up. You know, if you want to be in the industry for a long while, you've got to take care of it. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, you should be abused in any way, but the point is, you know what? You know, just know your place.
So attitude on the set there?
Absolutely.
What's your attitude like?
Positive, always positive. I mean, you know, internally, I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm still here. You know, everyone's got this or that, whatever. But you know what? I want to continue in this profession. If I want to advance to a, you know, a speaking actor or, you know, anything over a full feature and to get, you know, some serious roles, you just got to pay your dues.
All right. So student films, networking, relevant headshots, good
Business
attitude,
cards.
business cards with a
Absolutely.
couple of different pictures on there.
Absolutely. And get professional pictures. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. That
not glamour shots.
No, not glamour shots. Not, hey, my cousin just got a new Canon 4000. And
Right.
he takes great background or, you know, the backyard photos next to that lovely, you know, pine tree, whatever. No, go to a professional. It's worth the investment.
Seriously.
It is.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to take this acting as serious as a business, you're your own CEO of your own company. And that's how I literally live my acting. It's Tommy O Enterprises. It's I literally feel that I'm the CEO of my own company.
By the way, you have a new website out there, Tommy?
I do, absolutely. Thanks for asking. It's TommyOB.com. Again, TommyOB.com.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the show, Mr. Tommy O'Brien.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Yes.
Absolutely. Lovely meeting you. Absolutely.
All right.
This is
So
cool.
we'll see you at the Florida Hampton table this Sunday at 2 o'clock at 84 Diner. It's a secret meeting, so you're only allowed to go unless you're invited, right?
Yeah, the
Wait.
secret 3 knocks in and thing.
Yeah.
Everybody, on my website is my phone number. If you want to come to this meeting, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to get you on the list. It's for any actors out there that want to take their career seriously.
Well, Tommy, it's great to have you here. I know a lot of people are saying it's a big loss, you know, for our area, but you know, you're leaving here, and a lot of people look up to you and have benefited by being your friend and working with you here.
Thank you.
I just want to say thanks again.
Thank you very much.
All right,
you.
folks, that's it for Rick's show on the radio again. So we'll see you next week. We got a big thing coming on with Diana S. Rice is coming back with her big crew. I'll put some Facebook things up there about that. But we'll see you next week, same time on SoFloRadio.com.
Reach my heart, the shelter we've made is melting apart. I'm bleeding inside. The tears that you shed, but never leave our bed, never leave our bed, and never leave our bed. It hasn't rained, no, nothing comes down. I'll take the blame that you're not around. I used you up, I never gave much, waiting for clouds.
SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com.